All right, and we are live. I think we're live. Hey guys, how's it going tonight? Can I get a 5x5 in the chat just to let us know that you can hear us and everything looks good? It's been a while since we've gone live, actually, so I kind of enjoy this. We might start doing some Sunday evening shows more frequently coming up in the future, so stay tuned for that. Let me make sure that we are good in the chat, and then Aaron, can you see the chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just pulled it up.
Right on. We should be good. It always is, but just want to make sure. So what's up, Ann? What's going on?
Well, what an intro. Hello.
Well, I'll give you an intro. How's it going over there?
It's going terrific. Thank you so very much.
That's good. Before we get started tonight, guys, a couple conference announcements. Don't forget, tickets are still available, but the on-site lodging is sold out, but camping is not sold out. So you can still get on-site camping. There are some hotels, small hotels nearby in town, about 5 miles away. I'd say that the town is about 5 miles away. That's a very small town, so those will book up quick. So if you're looking to come, I recommend book something as soon as you can.
Or Airbnb, of course.
Right. Or Airbnb, and there's some glamping available. So there's some options. We have a Telegram group. That link is below in the description. If you're looking to share travel or lodging accommodations, people are looking for roommates. People are looking to share rides from the airport, whatever the case may be. It's already pretty active. People are planning and coordinating in there. So if you want to stay with somebody, or you do want to stay on site, or you're looking for something along those lines, check out the Telegram group. I would imagine most people are in there already, but just in case you're not, that link is below. What else about the conference? Anything else? Just buy a ticket. Come hang out. We can't wait to see you guys. Tonight, we are joined by Anne Marie from The Art of Healing. So Anne has actually had myself and Aaron on her show, on her channel, our YouTube channel, the Anne Marie, The Art of Healing. And they're both amazing conversations. Anne does some amazing healing work, some channeling, among many other things. And we're going to let her explain what she does. But she was compelled to share a message with all of us. These channelers, they get downloads, and she has some very interesting stuff she wants to share with us pertaining to the conference and just in general. So we're really excited to see what she has to say. And welcome to the show, Anne.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you so very much.
Of course. Yeah, we're glad to have you here. And so for those who don't know, however you want to start this, you can just lay this message on us, or you can introduce yourself, let people know, how you got into this and what you do.
Okay, thanks. Well, as you mentioned, my name is Anne Marie, The Art of Healing. That is my business name. My real name is Anne Marie Morales, and I have been a healer and a channel. A healer for about 5 years and a channel for about 4. But the whole reason why I'm here today is because, first of all, I love you guys. And I've been supporting you for many years. We've met a couple of times, and I consider you very dear and close to my heart.
We love you too.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm just going to lay it out there. So I came from a Catholic tradition. I just had Aaron on my podcast talking about coming out of Christianity and going into spirituality. And one of the things that we both agreed on was that you are born into the family you're meant to be born into for very serious reasons, or for real reasons, despite the experience that you may have had. And for me personally, my experience with my religion opened me up to the supernatural. One of the experiences with my religion opened me up to the supernatural. And I had a fascination from a young child with demonic possession and all this kind of stuff. Because it was almost allowed, it was allowed in our faith. You could talk about demons, and there are exorcisms, and it intrigued me. And over the course of my youth and my adult life, I had lots of interactions with what we would term in spirituality, the lower fourth dimensional astral beings. Attacks in my dreams. My son was attacked as a child. He would get night terrors, my oldest son. And I mean, it's followed me throughout my adult life, and gave me certain sets of skills. When I was kind of on the cusp of kind of transitioning from Christianity, Catholicism into spirituality, and finally understanding what dimensions are and what astral beings are, and benevolent ETs and malevolent ETs and all this, when I was just on the cusp of that, I was actually a prayer warrior for an exorcist who worked in Brooklyn, New York. I am now living in Florida, but previously I lived up in New York from 1999. And my experience with him opened me up to attacks in my dreams. I remember one time in particular, he was going to have a very difficult exorcism. And it was a Saturday night into a Sunday. And I remember in this dream, I had this very handsome man came into my dream, and he was, very, very handsome. And at one point he came up to me, and then he put his hands around my neck in the dream and started to choke me. And it woke me up out of the dream, and I could just feel this energy around my throat. Mm-hmm. And I was already into channeling, even though I was still attending Catholic church, and even though I was still doing all this, I was already a part of my channeling community, my channeling Jesus community. And I asked a question. I was like, what do you think this means? And the head of that community, who is a phenomenal channeler and Course in Miracles teacher, her name is Tina Louise Spalding. She said to me, what are you speaking? Are you going to speak something? Are you saying so? What about the throat? And what ended up happening was that next Sunday, it was a Sunday, Saturday night into Sunday when I had this dream. At Sunday, I was going to pray for this exorcism at church. Mm. And I put two and two together. And so I understand what this means. And so now let's jump forward until what brought me here on this show. So I'm very close to a secret space program survivor. Daryl James and I have found each other in this incarnation by immense means of spirit. We won't say interference, but spirit brought us together. There's no doubt about it. So I was watching Daryl and Rebecca Rose on your show, and I was monitoring the chat because I'm always in your chat, and I was saying, look at all these people who are coming online, who are talking about this, who are talking about all the activity that they still endure. And they're suffering. These people are really, really suffering. They're suffering with mental issues, emotional, mental, psychological, spiritual bombardment. And it's coming in all forms.
Right. And that manifests into the physical too. And, it's all
absolutely.
Across all planes. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so it came across my heart. I just saw 1444 on my clock, and 444 are my numbers. I love it. I love the game. I love the games that Spirit plays. It's beautiful. Thank you. So it just came upon my heart. I'm like, oh my God, we need to pray for these people. Like, I personally do not have any connection to it, but because I'm so close to Daryl, and I know his story, and I know things that other people don't know, I realized that there's a need. And not only is there a need for the community, and then I thought about the conference. We're bringing all these people together for this conference. And it really came upon my heart. I said, we've got to pray. We've got to set up intentions. We've got to do our magic. We've got to reverse the black magic. We've got to provide a sacred and safe space for not only this conference to occur without a hitch and to bring tons of light into this dimension, but we need to protect these people that are coming online.
Right.
I feel millions of people around the globe are going to be coming online soon.
Yeah.
Like now they're coming online.
I'm feeling that when you say that.
Yeah.
And I, first of all, thank you so much for reaching out with this, because I think it's absolutely beautiful and 100% crucial.
Mm-hmm.
It's necessary. It's necessary with any conference, but in particular, the group of people we're bringing together, you know, if they're all coming online, that means they're all going to start getting attacked, or they'll be susceptible to attacks.
Yep.
And then you bring them all together, you know, you got to imagine these entities hanging out around this place. So we have to get in there now and start setting up that space.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's absolutely amazing what you're doing. And I know you've reached out to a few other people who are going to be there, and we've kind of gathered and built a little team who's already doing this work. But I just think it's incredible what you're doing. Thank you.
No, you're very welcome. It's really, this whole situation has really become a pivot point for me personally as a healer and as a spiritual counselor and a channel. I have really revamped and relooked at my mission on Earth because of this particular event. And I'm very excited to go forward. I've been contacted by people who say to me, Anne Marie, I feel safe with you. I feel I can trust you. And the ball is already rolling. And so I just feel like I'm stepping into my power. I'm stepping into a new phase in my life. And, you know, I'm just so excited. I'm just so excited. And I feel encouraged, and we got this. I mean, there's nothing that can stop the light.
Right.
We have to understand that. We have to understand that.
Absolutely.
So let's break this down a little bit for people who don't understand what it means to put up protection, or even understand how to do that. Because when I got into this stuff, the reason my attacks happen so often, because I didn't know anything about anything. I didn't know I could protect myself. I didn't know I could surround myself in white light, you know? So whenever you're talking about doing this for the conference, we should give individuals who are going to be there their own tools to put up their own protection as well, because it's important to just not rely on someone else to do it for you. Like it takes all of us.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. One important thing that I heard on your last interview with Mark DeMizio, okay, and it was very poignant because it all ties into this. You can do meditations and contract. You can say, I rebuke my contract and I don't want this anymore. And it's all for naught, because you have to be in an empowered state. You can't be in a state of mind, especially people who are undergoing psychic attack. You cannot be in a fear state. You need to be in an empowered state. And to get from the fear until getting to the empowered takes assistance. It takes work. And there are ways and means to get there. And it's entirely possible. Coming from a state of sovereignty, coming from a state of being, I'm tired, I'm done, I know who I am now. You have nothing on me. That is going to stop. That's going to help stop the attacks. And it takes a while to get there, because you're going through human healing. We're in a 3D body. We're in a dimension. And this is something that I've channeled, we're in a dimension that doesn't want us to leave it.
Yeah.
Because there are entities and beings here that don't want to give up the loosh. They don't want to give up the energy source.
Yeah.
So we have to be in a state of mind to say, I'm done and I'm out of here. Flip the bird and say, bye, baby. We gone. Okay. And we have to collectively get to that point individually. And then once individually, we lift everybody up with us.
Right.
We lift everybody up with us. So,
right. That vibration spreads. You know, your frequency is contagious. So whenever you're walking around in a specific frequency, preferably high vibe, that does spread and affect the people around you. It might repel them because they're not ready for that, or they're just not comfortable in that. Or it might draw the right people towards you. But either way, it does have an effect. This isn't just something, I'm sure on some level it's measurable. Like we could probably do some tests on that. But one thing I do want to mention, which I found personally, is that you can do all the protection you want, all the clearings you want, and set your space up. But guess what? That doesn't mean that they're gone. They wait for that tiny little second that you let your guard down to come in. And that happened to me just the other night. You know, you get into this routine and then all of a sudden you forget one night, and sure enough, something terrible happens, and you're like, and you think about it, you're like, man, you can't even let your guard down at all right now. So I want to talk about how to set up that space, but how to stay in that space.
The key for that is really hard, but the key to that is to not be in fear, is to be in 100% assurance that you are taken care of and that you are loved and that you are part of source. Source resides within you. I mean, going back to the Christianity, if God is for us, who can be against us, right? If God is for us, who can be against? So if God is within me, what do I have to worry about?
Why? Yeah. Why would you be afraid of anything if you are God, essentially? We are a source.
And that's where
it's an illusion. It's 100% an illusion that makes no sense other than our mind tricks us into it, because we're in this 3D realm where we're illusory disconnected from those higher realms, but really we're not. We are. We just it apparently seems like that, so we get afraid of things because we don't have the awareness of all those things, and until you cultivate that, until you do become aware. And then, so that's what, to me, it's about getting to that state. It's about cultivating awareness, raising your vibration, sovereignty, stepping into your sovereignty. And there's many methods of doing all that, but it's all an inward journey. None of it's external. There's things you can do, but if you get too focused on external things, then you lose sight of what it's an inward thing, and it's about your own personal growth. So the more you do that, naturally, the more, or the less you will fear and produce and be in these like low vibrational states that attract those entities, because that's what they feed off of. And that's why society, when you look at the way it's structured, the way the matrix control system is structured, it's all to keep us at those levels at all costs. You look at the education system, what the media is constantly pumping out, events they manufacture to keep us in fear, like right now. It's all to keep us so in those states all the time that we never have a chance to. And we're always so externally focused, trying to become fulfilled externally, so we never go inward. But the more you go inward and do the work, and you will naturally get to that state where I feel like things like that will be happening less and less and less and less.
Right.
And it's not going to be an overnight thing.
No,
but it's gonna, once you get on that, it's gonna naturally, you're not gonna have to like try really hard all the time. You're just gonna naturally, be in that state, and then you're not going to. But that doesn't mean, you know, protection is absolutely important, and all those things are absolutely important.
Every time, I mean, I have worked on myself, and I have created such a joy and bliss. I try and remain in a joy and a bliss state, as much as I can. I've had to detach from the matrix. So before moving to Florida, I was an elementary art teacher in New York State, public school art teacher. And I literally could not function there anymore. I couldn't do it because I was compromising my core values every time I stepped into that building. Every time I was told to, you know, treat a child a certain way, I'm like, I'm sorry. You know, once I got to a point where in my gut, going to work was a torture. I mean, and if you think about it, and if reflect on my own life, I love teaching. I loved it. But then as my consciousness elevated and my vibration went up, I realized what an incongruency it was for me to collect a paycheck from that system.
Yeah.
I was feeding into this system of manipulation and brainwashing and the destruction of our future. It was something that I could absolutely not participate in anymore. It all has to do with being congruent with your beliefs.
Yeah, and with your own soul.
With your own soul value, with your own
have that
belief.
deep soul feeling, like you said, that you're just like, I know this is wrong. So then once you fully become aware of that, then you have to make a choice of, do I stay in fear, stay in this situation because of fear, because I'm afraid to leave it, and I think I won't be able to survive without it, or you're just so attached to it, you know, and the money and all of that, or do I live in alignment with my soul and with my true self, and live in integrity and do what's right for that, rather than what's right for my logic-based mind, that I think I have to do things and I have to obey authority and I have to do what other people think I need to do and all that stuff. And fear is what keeps us in that. So yeah,
I wanted to bring up, if you don't mind, a couple of points. In getting back to the whole idea of protection from these lower fourth dimensional astral beings, these beings that, of course, are no friend of ours. Okay, let's just put it just very gently that way. I came from that exorcism tradition where you're battling the entity. Okay, where it's a violent fisticuffs energy. Okay, and this brings up to what you were talking about, Tyler. When they did these exorcisms, removing these entities from these humans. And I mean, I was amongst a lot of really high profile, the Ed and Lorraine Warren's daughter and son-in-law, I've known and I met them. So these are very famous exorcists. When you get rid of an entity like that, it's got to go somewhere. Okay. And that part of it was never taken care of. That part of it was never thought of. It was only, let's get the entity out.
It's going to go to somebody else.
And that, exactly right. And it wasn't until I was on a Facebook group of spiritual individuals that one of the organizers of the group talked about the proper way to deal with these entities. And it is not with anger and violence. It is with compassion, because they completely have forgotten the love of God from whence they came. There is only one source in the universe. only
Mhm.
one, and we all come from it.
Mm-hmm.
Positively polarized or negatively polarized. We come from that one source. Now, when I personally assist people to remove attachments and entities, it is always with the entity's permission, and they are all wrapped in the love of source and returned back.
Yep.
It's hard.
Mhm.
It's hard to wrap your head around loving something that hates you and tortures you and has
Feeds off
attacked
you.
you
Yeah.
and belittled you and sometimes raped you.
Mm-hmm.
It is not, these astral rapes happen. They
Oh, yeah.
happen. They're a real thing. It happened. I witnessed one.
It's happened to me.
Yeah. These things happen. Okay. And it may not be the experiencer's role to surround that entity in love, but it would be the healer's role to do that.
Mm.
And through that sacred connection between healer and individual and spirit, that is where the dynamic and the sacred alchemy takes place. So,
Right. And that's the hardest part, because somebody in the chat said, what if they won't give permission? I wonder what they mean by that. I don't know. It's not that,
The
to
entity,
me,
you
it's
mean?
not that simple. As just, I've been at the receiving end of these attacks since I was 25. And yeah, you get to a point, and everything you said is absolutely true, but it's easier said than done. I will say that. And it depends
Yeah.
on who you are. Some people are more of a target than others. And sometimes, and this is another theme that I'm coming up, people have been reaching out to me, because these spiritual clearings aren't working, because there are groups out there using technologies that a clearing won't affect. You can't just love and light away a physical technology.
No.
And that's where I think some of these people, especially these SSP guys, are dealing with some of that stuff. And I think that was the case for me the other night.
If I
Okay.
misrepresented what I said by saying that this is something love and light, that term love and light kind of bugs me a little bit.
Right. Me too.
Only because it's overused, and it kind of makes you think of this, everything is rainbows and unicorns kind of situation.
Yeah. It gets misused.
It
definitely,
gets
a lot.
misused.
Mhm.
This is nitty gritty work.
Mhm.
This is deep nitty gritty work, and it is not a one and done thing. This takes time. This takes effort. And I, how I am tuned into you, Aaron, and you, Tyler, and it takes work. And I make no mistake about it. I understand that. So I don't want to misrepresent myself to you, Tyler. Okay.
And you weren't. I just wanted to reiterate that
Mhm.
it's just sometimes not that simple.
Absolutely.
And yeah, Anne is tuned into me, because she'll message me. She's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "How the hell did she do that?"
Mhm.
Yeah, she
But
picks
then the
up
question
on.
is, how do you protect against if it's technology and it's that type?
Right.
That's a lot trickier to protect yourself from, probably.
I'll give you a little bit of an insight that just happened very, very recently with a client of mine. We actually went on a ship together, and we had benevolent ET assistance
Nice.
in disabling and removing implants.
Nice.
So we are not alone.
Oh yeah.
We are not alone. So the healers here on earth are not alone. And I'm not the only one who does this. I'm not the only one who is able to work with higher dimensional benevolent ETs. But it's happened. So that's all I'm putting it out there.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's like if you can connect with your ET guides or family, ask them for assistance with that.
Right. I think well, there is assistance, and we're doing things in the astral.
There already is, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's also, I feel like certain things, they don't interfere unless you ask for it,
Right.
Ask for that
well,
assistance.
that's the whole reason behind getting together the Lightworkers. Back in the good old Christian days, if one of the members of the congregation was in trouble, what happened? Everybody prayed for that person. You'd call a prayer chain. You'd say an intention at mass or something like that. It's the same concept. And this is really the focus. The focus is to bring awareness to everyone, not just healers or Reiki masters or anything like that, but just the individual person who is sitting here going, oh my God, this is so fascinating. I can't believe it. Everyone has power. Everyone has the ability to send love intention. And that love intention will reverberate like we have no idea across dimensions. So it's entirely possible to just, accelerate disclosure, accelerate the healing of the planet. If we take the time to just put it on our prayer checklist, put it on a prayer checklist, put it up in front of you. And remember, we are in a time where manifestation will happen so quickly with the energies coming in off the central sun, through our sun. The vibration on the planet is off the charts.
That's true.
We just need a little bit of mental discipline. Just a little bit of discipline to sit there and say, wait a minute, where are my thoughts taking me?
Yeah.
Where are my thoughts taking me? If my thoughts direct my words, direct my actions, and direct my intention, where can I put my thoughts so that they can reverberate out in the best good for all? So,
yeah. And I'm going to take this a step further too, is Lexi Eisenhower, we've had her on the show. She's always big on parasite cleanses, and she's always posting stuff about how a lot of the negative thoughts, even suicidal thoughts, might not be your thought. It might be coming from an actual parasite that wants out. And so there's a physical layer to this too, and there are parasites living within us. Unfortunately, I've done a cleanse, and I'm getting ready to working on starting another cleanse, but I think that's another layer to this. Like, it's not, there's so many, we have to hit it physically too. We have to literally get this stuff out of our body. And once we have a clean vessel, then it's much easier to clean up our thoughts. And you don't have to, those aren't influencing your thoughts anymore. And you don't have those, you won't have negative thoughts so often. Yeah. There's life, and we're put in situations all the time. Things get difficult, and sometimes we doubt things, and we all find ourselves going to that place at some point or another, but it's much easier to stay out of that, I feel like, if you had a clean vessel also.
Absolutely. Eating healthily and consciously is probably one of the best gifts you could give yourself. It really, really is. If you think about the vibration of what you put in your body. Now, I try. I try, Yeah,
we don't want to achieve our light body too quickly, so we can still have.
Sometimes I'll do something that's so high vibe that I'll go out and get a burger just to kind of like get me down out of it. It's so.
It's almost like if you listen to your body and like really get in tune, and then it knows what it needs. And that doesn't mean you'll have cravings for very unhealthy things, but recognizing what's the unhealthy addictions and cravings just because you're kind of addicted to it, or what is like an actual, this is what my body needs, and this is
I'll even jump upon that one further. I have taught, and probably will be teaching again, a course on personal energy communication. And I am not a clairvoyant. So a lot of the healers out there have that gift of clairvoyance. I don't. So my external visual confirmation comes from using a pendulum. And I do a lot of muscle testing as well. So like, for example, yes, I'm aware of Lexi's protocols, and I was in communication with her because I have a family member who has schizophrenia. And we were talking about that, and her theories are amazing. So I was thinking, shall I do a cleanse? Because I communicated with you, Tyler. I was like, what is the means to do the cleanse? I went to my pendulum and I asked the pendulum, is doing a parasite cleanse in my best and highest good? And the answer was no. Okay. So it's also important that you learn what your body and the energy that your body communicates to you, your organs communicate to you, your energy field can talk to you. Yeah. Even if you're in the store and let's say you have acid reflux or something like that, but you want to try and eat something, a new fruit, for example, you can always hold that fruit against your body. And if your body leans forward, it's a yes. If it pushes back, it's a no. You could do it for vitamins. You can do it for a multitude of things.
Frozen pizzas.
Yeah.
Frozen pizzas. Yeah. Cauliflower ones are awesome, by the way. They're really good.
It's kind of like dowsing with your own body.
Yes, exactly. Right? So, I mean, it's just other ways to become more in tune with your physical body. So it's really important.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you brought that up. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. But yeah, that's great. That's great. I'm gonna try that. The whole fruit thing. You know, I noticed that too. Your body just, you're like, okay, your body's already telling you what this food is, how this food is going to affect you. And there's a lot of times when I do ignore it. I'm like, I don't care. This looks amazing and I'm going to eat it anyway. And I'll just, I'll just climb back out of that hole.
Exactly.
Consequences. Yeah.
It's exactly what it is. And, if you set limits to yourself, and if you like, that's why diets never really work, right? Because if you deny yourself something, then you're creating that energy.
You're coming out with the wrong energy. Yeah.
You're coming out with the wrong energy.
Exactly.
And what is good for one person is not good for another person.
100%. I've said that.
So anyway.
And that's why, because a lot of people think like being a vegan is what everyone should be. It's a one size fits all. Or not being a vegan is what everyone should be. So but it's not. It's not this one size fits all thing that we all have to conform to. It's individual, and what you just said is perfect.
I think the vegan thing is more the people who want everyone to be a vegan are more against like animal cruelty.
Well, that's a whole different.
But I think that's where that comes. That's where that comes from.
Well, there's both, and I do absolutely agree with that aspect of it. And I think, the less we can support any of that stuff, the better, obviously. But if you can get good sourced meat, and the healthier of that, then if that's what your body needs, and go for it. But obviously all that, the GMO and all that, it's obviously terrible.
Something I wanted to bring up, and while I have you on, so we have, like you said, millions of people coming online, and a lot of people remembering that they were possibly in a space program or some sort of program. It doesn't even have to be off planet. People are abducted and used and all kinds of things. And I feel there's a lot of people who really want so bad to remember, even though they don't have any memories, but they're like digging for this stuff. And I just want to put a caution out there. Just be careful what you wish for, because maybe some of those memories are suppressed by your higher self for a reason. Maybe it won't benefit you in any way to remember because it was so traumatic or whatever. Maybe it wasn't traumatic, but it'll just add all this layer of confusion to your life. So don't poke the bear if you don't have to. if you're experiencing something, yeah, there's obviously, go with that, and then you dive into it. But just proceed with caution in that area.
Mhm. I want to share a story with you, if you don't mind, that speaks exactly to that. And this happened about 2 or 3 years ago. I was listening to an interview that Laura Eisenhower did with Tony Rodriguez. And I was already channeling. I already had my YouTube channel. At the time, I would channel when I was driving. I would channel my guides, who were the highway guides at the time, the name that I gave them. So I would get on to 84 going to my job, and they would come in and I would turn my recorder on, and, that's where I would get my YouTube channel. So I remember I was like, oh my God, I've got to listen to this, because his story is horrifically fascinating, right? I mean, it was right when he was starting to reveal his story. And it's a tough story. And it was really, really, really hard for me to listen to. And I got into the car. I had like one of those little air vent holders for my phone, and I put the thing on. Well, first, the cord pops out. I'm like, what's this? All right, I plug the cord back in. Then the damn thing pops out of the vent, and my phone falls onto the passenger seat floor. My guides did not want me to hear that story. And the reason why, and I channeled a message about it. And the message on my YouTube channel is called Delving into Egoic Passions. So we have our ego, which is salacious. It's the one that wants to look at the wreck on the highway. It's the one that wants to look at all the horrors of war on TV. It's the one that wants to witness something that's part of who we are. It's our ego. It's our ego sense of self that wants to keep us in fear.
They're addicted to drama. Yeah. And fear. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So that part of me was on fire. So you have to ask yourself, truly, do I really, really want to go there? Is it something that I can handle at this time? Because if you have people who are coming online and all they're doing is pulling in all these horrific stories, and if you listen to Daryl's story, I mean, no one should go through these things. No one. And this is a big, big passion of mine too, because these beings were manipulated into this life. They were interfered with. This is not a soul. This is not a so much a soul contract thing or a karma thing. This is an interference from the lower fourth dimension that played upon our free will. And that's wrong. And that needs to stop. But coming back to my point, for those of you that are still coming online with your memories, yes, you want to know, and I know you have passions, but please work with your guides, and please work with someone that you trust, so that you don't hurt yourself and get yourself out of a hole. You can turn so far left. You can, ignite your addictions again. How many of you came out of addiction? How many of these beautiful souls were functioning alcoholics, alcoholics, drug addicts? There's reasons for that. Okay. So my advice always is to really be present in the now. Remember how loved you are. And don't forget that you have not just a team, you literally have a stadium of beings that are waiting for you to call them in. So please integrate that knowledge into where you are, because if you feel you're alone, you are not alone at all. And you are loved beyond measure, beyond what you could ever dream love is. And I've seen this, and I've heard it, and I've witnessed it.
Wow. That was powerful. And thank you. And I agree with that wholeheartedly, 100%. You nailed it.
Yep.
You nailed it. I don't know
You
if
did.
that was like the channeling that you were talking about you do or what, but that was beautiful.
It's really, really is the truth. And this is when I go to sleep at night and I give a gratitude practice. My God, be thankful. If you have a bed to sleep on, be thankful you've got a bed to sleep on. If you have a roof over your head, be thankful you've got a roof over your head. And when I was, before I woke up, I used to have a prayer. And I used to say, thank God for my problems because I don't want anybody else's.
Right. That's powerful.
Right. But I don't want to thank anybody for my problems. So I've converted that over. That was old thinking. Okay. Because you're grateful for your struggles. Yes, you can be grateful for your struggles, but you don't want to focus on them.
Mm-hmm.
You want to learn from them and move on. And a lot of times we focus in on our struggles and we only want to be identified by our problems.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember I have a cute joke. My family's from the island of Malta, and my mom is this old biddy, right? And I used to say, they sit around, they had a beautiful little community of all these little Maltese women. And you used to hear them talking amongst themselves. And one would say, I broke my fingernail. And then the next one would say, you broke your fingernail. I broke my finger. I broke my finger. You broke your finger. I broke my arm. So, they would accelerate and be proud of their misfortunes. Yeah. And we wear our illnesses, we wear our misfortunes on our backs as a badge of honor. Are you kidding me?
Well, that's a victim. People are addicted to the victim mentality there.
Exactly. But that's what we know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. And well, that's what's pushed on us.
What we know.
Right. That's exactly what we know.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And people get stuck. People live their whole lives in the victim, poor me mode. I'm the victim, identified with their pain and struggles and which is all in the past mostly, or it's something they're going through now, but it stays with them because they keep identifying with it and feeding that. And then it never heals, because we can heal ourselves, but so many people perpetuate their illnesses and things over and over because they're
I remember this one woman when I learned how to do Reiki. When I was helping attune Reiki Masters, she would talk about how she wants to heal herself. And I was like, so what's wrong with you? And she rattled off a list of drugs and problems, but it was with this glint in her eye. Oh, and I have this and I have that and I have this and I have that. And I was like, you love that too much.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, this is another point too. That's why some people think they want to heal from. This is another point I wanted to bring up. But so people, let's just say all of a sudden your pain is alleviated by some miraculous energy healing. Right. Subconsciously, I've done this with my lower back, and I've noticed this is something I'm working on. You subconsciously miss that pain because it has become your crutch and your excuse for so many things in life that you don't realize it. And that's something I've been working on personally. As I look down, somebody puts, how do I heal my back in the chat. Nice. But no, it's very true. And that's something I had to realize, I didn't mean to, I didn't want to miss my pain. But it's something that's not, some people do it intentionally, but it's also, there's a subconscious level. And there's a fear that some people don't know who they are outside of their pain. And they're so identified with it, they're afraid to lose that, because then it's like they're losing their identity, and they're afraid of that. Not everyone. That's what my point was going to be, is not everyone wants to heal.
Yeah, and that's why. Exactly. Yeah.
I think everybody wants to heal, but they just don't realize what they're doing to maintain the illness.
Deep
that
down,
they're,
everyone wants to heal.
yeah,
but-
that they're self-perpetuating the same illness over and over and over again. And we have to be in forgiveness. Okay.
Oh yeah.
The way that we create and miscreate, it's a skill to learn. It's a skill to learn how to really look at your thoughts and how do you deal with pain? Do you automatically go to the medicine cabinet and pull out a pill? How many times, like the first thing that you do when you feel a little ache, oh, do you need a Tylenol? That's a program.
Yeah.
And
that's
or
most of that is destroying your body because it's
or the
literal poison basically.
On top of that, people were programmed, I need to call my doctor. Like your doctor has all the answers for you. I'm like,
exactly.
Like you have an earache, you call your doctor. I'm like, no, there's like so many ways to take care of your earache. Don't call your doctor. Like
when I do a healing and when I come across and I'll pick up something, I'll often tell her, it will channel through me. I will say, you have to have a dialogue with this part of your body. You have to talk to this part of the body and you have to ask for its forgiveness and send it your love intention. And it's giving you a message. It's saying, I'm not right. Something's not right with me.
Trying to get your attention. Exactly.
It's getting your attention. And there's many layers to that. There's, it could mean a thought pattern that you have. If you feel like you are unable to, let's say, leave a current job. Okay. If you feel trapped in your job, you might end up having foot issues or leg pain or something like that because you are immobile.
Yep.
Your thoughts about something else are going to manifest into something physical into your body. And you guys know this. I know you already know it.
It's so true. It's so true.
You can sit and have a conversation. How many times have we thanked our jaw for chewing our food?
Never.
Yeah.
Yeah. How have we ever had a conversation with our diaphragm? Thank you for working without me even have to thinking about you. You're literally breathing me into life.
Right. Yeah.
This is something that we don't think of.
No, we don't. Yeah. We'll just
be in the habit of gratitude and being grateful for everything that we tend to take for granted, like all that.
Right. Yeah. We'd be thankful.
That's huge.
There's a lot to be thankful for.
And then when you get in that state, then the universe doesn't have to keep manifesting all these things to get your attention, to get you back on track.
Well,
because then you're on the right track.
So this is a real quick, Anne, before you go or before you move on. This is a perfect example of why I needed a parasite cleanse, because I was literally, first of all, I was getting all the synchronicities. You know how that works.
Yes.
But then I was literally having, I had a dream one night. It was so vivid. It was like flashing, like an emergency light in like a factory or something. It was a flashing green light that said parasite detected. It was like, parasite detected. And I knew at that point, and I did need to cleanse, but like like you said, your foot hurts because you're immobile. Like things like there's signs, and sometimes it's directly in your face, like mine was, but other times it's not.
It really is. And if you're open to the signs, if you're open to the synchronicities, you will see them everywhere. It's just a matter of your conscious awareness and getting to that point of conscious awareness. So did you
want to open yourself up for a channel or not?
I don't know. It's up to you.
Well, we had talked about that earlier before we went on air. And if you're feeling like it's right, then
just to let your audience know. So what I've done for the past year, I think almost year. I think year in May. I do a monthly Q&A with my guides, and I will ask for questions from people who call into the Zoom call, and will channel an answer for them. I I used to have the highway guides. Now my guides are the Ra Collective. I mean, let me ask the pendulum and see, is this
Well,
something
I
we should do?
don't mean to put you on the
Is this?
spot at all.
I mean, I can do it. I mean, it's fine if they want answers.
Well, okay.
I'm happy to
What
try.
I wasn't, just let me clarify. I wasn't talking about the Q&A thing. I didn't know if you can just,
Oh, okay.
I didn't know if you could just open up and like, I don't
Just
know how that
channel a
works.
message.
Yeah, correct.
All
Yeah.
right. I don't see why not. Let's see what happens, what spirit has to say about this. I do channel light language. That was the first thing that I started channeling a few years ago now, about 4 or 5 years ago. Light language is, for those who don't know, you could call it tongues, right? And it is light in spoken form. So what it does is it bypasses the ego body, the ego mind that wants to understand and classify and peg everything. And it speaks directly to your light body. It's healing, it's releasing, and it's something that I really love to do. So thank you for allowing this opportunity for me.
Of course.
Ooh, yes, we are Ra. We are the Ra Collective. We are Anne Marie's guides and teachers, and we are here to deliver a message of love from on high, if you will. What is happening throughout the cosmos at this time is that all of us, let us say higher dimensional beings, that have communicated with humanity for eons and beyond eons. We are here to ensure the advancement of your species to the next dimensional ascension. The reason why is because we all have some sort of karmic attachment to humanity. Those of us who love you, who want to remind you of your God essence, of your oneness, not only with the Creator of all, but with each other. We are the deliverer of the law of one. We are the deliverer to humanity of this concept that what you do reflects in each other. Do not forget that in this dimension, you are given what you need. You experience what you generate. So if you are experiencing an experience of a trauma, you're holding some sort of trauma within you, you're holding a judgment within you, and it's coming into your awareness for healing. Do not forget that. This universe is reflective to you. We want you to succeed, but you all are your own creator. You will create your own experience, your own world, if it will. Call us in. If you wish to call upon Ra, call upon Ra. If you wish to call upon your star family, call upon your star family. If you wish to call upon the ascended masters, call upon the ascended masters. Call to your angels. It all comes from you, from what you desire. You are not alone. You are not alone in this. But the struggle must be experienced in you. You are the initiator of the future. And we are here, and we bless you, and we love you beyond measure.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. That was on point once again. Yeah. Thank you, Anne. That was beautiful.
It's
You're
Wow.
welcome.
Wow. Yeah. There's nothing to say after that. That was exactly it. Well, for
We
one,
can just end the show now.
yeah, I felt like it was like directed at me personally, but I feel that because I'm going through a lot of this stuff, and it's so true. It's so true that we have to feel that struggle within. I love that message.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. I'm.
spot on.
Were you gonna say something, Ann?
Yeah, I just get a little emotional. That's all.
Oh, no,
I
it's
just get a
okay.
little emotional.
Absolutely.
So, Ann, where can people find you to book a session with you?
I have a website, AnnMarieTheArtOfHealing.com. And over there you can find a link to my booking site if you're interested in that. I would like to also take this opportunity to announce something. I've really taken this charge, let's put it that way, and I've opened up and redirected myself as a healer and as a spiritual counselor. And I'm creating a Patreon group. I just activated a Patreon page. And one of the groups on there is called Safe Space. And this safe space is meant, it's a limited number of people, and it's going to be a sacred group for individuals who need to express and heal from their traumas. So I have created this special group, and I've been contacted by people after that last little video I put out. But I've taken the initiative, and it's going to include weekly meetings and guest healers and no recordings. This is safe and sacred. So if anybody is called to join that, you have a home. You have a home where you can come and just cry if you need to cry, share if you need to share, sit and listen if you need to sit and listen. And I feel that deep in my heart. And I think that's part of my mission here on Earth. So,
and that
it's
can be
all the links there.
That can be found on your website.
On my website, the links to the Patreon are there.
Okay. I think that's incredible, and it's very needed right now. So many people, we get messages all the time, people, looking for help, reaching out, it's out of my means. Sometimes I want to respond to everybody, but I can't. The fact that you're creating a space specifically for that, I hope a lot of people listening to this reach out and if they're looking for something like that. And guys, don't forget to go subscribe to Ann's YouTube channel, Ann Marie, The Art of Healing. She just did an amazing interview with Aaron Friday night, I believe. Actually, was it? Yeah, it premiered Friday night.
Yep.
So go check that out if you haven't. Don't forget, is not the enemy.
Just come to an understanding. And it's not so much that you have to love anybody. It's just that you have to say, you have to create a little bit of distance and just allow it to go.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What else before we wrap up? Guys, we're looking forward to seeing you all at the conference, and we'll be there, obviously. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tickets are still available, so if you feel compelled to join us and want to hang out with some Star and Soul family, we'd love to have you. We'd love to meet all you guys. So grab a ticket, secretspaceconference.info. And yeah, what else? Is anything else, you guys?
One of the groups on the Patreon also is to uplift each other. That's another tier on the Patreon where Lightworkers get together and we get to pray and uplift each other and assist each other's intentions. But each of you individually, just take the time to cover these people with your loving intention. All these people who are just cannot understand what is happening to them, even the ones that still don't understand. And the ones that are still suffering, let's just remember them and surround them with love. We can do that. We can totally give a little bit towards that. And that's really my big goal.
All right. Well, I think you found, it seems like you found your wings, if you want to say that.
Yeah.
So congratulations on getting all that set up. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing what you're doing. And we thank you. We can't thank you enough for the help, just even personally, for the Journey to Truth and in our personal lives. You've played a huge role in our success. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
All right.
You're welcome. I love you.
Guys, also, before I wrap this up, I don't know if you guys have seen The Adam Project on Netflix, that new movie. I highly recommend it. It's about a secret time travel space program / divine counterpart story.
Really? I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it just came out on Netflix on Friday, and I was shocked at the disclosure in it. And it's pretty cool, actually. It's not a bad watch. So I just wanted to recommend that to anyone looking for a good movie to watch. It's very interesting, especially like Anne in your case, when you finally meet that person. This movie kind of portrays aspect of that, because and the people having to find that soul remembrance. It's very interesting. So anyway, check that out. We love you guys. We hope to see you at the conference. And until next time, have a great evening.
Bye, guys.
Bye.